Peace, peace, and love. What's going on, y'all? This is Masterpiece. We just finished live streaming from my channel the new documentary called Convex Earth, the documentary of Flat Earth. And you know what? It lived up to the expectations. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about, what they could have done better. We're going to talk about what they could have included. First, I'm going to start with, the negatives, the things that I disagreed with, and then we're going to end off on a positive note because really there was just bare nails in the coffin, left, right, and center. So, good luck recovering from this one. Karen B, what's going on? Peace to the chat. Travis Cloud, peace. Huey P, nuisance, peace. Cash Brown, what's going on? Yo, we in the building, and yo, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna tell you guys something. I had a debate scheduled in April, and I'll still show up, but now I'll show up with a lot more arsenal. I was thinking maybe even just throwing the debate away, just because. I mean, what do I got to debate now? That's how deep this documentary was. Loud Pack 40, what's going on? Thundy 79, what's good? And so, let's just Travis Cloud, I added you as a moderator. Karen, same with you. Actually, I'll just add all y'all as mods. We're gonna get it popping right now. Steven Broker, what's going on? Vic Padilla, what's going on? Peace. Nicholas, peace. Yeah, there's no more debates, guys. Elizabeth 98D, I highly recommend finishing it. Trust me, it was great. We're gonna break it down. You're gonna get my thoughts. So let's just jump right into it, because we all got valuable time on our hands. I don't want to waste it. Okay, so I'm gonna first start off by screen sharing the broadcast page. Okay, I'll share that. Okay, so let's go to convexearth.org, where the documentary was, and we can see the documentary. convexearth.org/documentary. It'll bring you up with a bunch of different languages you can select from. Of course, we're gonna go English. All right. Peace. Chris Muratore. Angel, I see you. Peace, fam. Okay. Here we go. The Convex Earth documentary. Now, this was 7 years in the making, and it is a grouping of many different, engineers, physicists, and it was employed with a lot of geodesic surveys and equipment. So we're just gonna get into. Oh yeah, first I wanted to get into what I wanted to explain about somebody who had a problem understanding about the bulge, the curve. Okay, let's bring it here. Okay, now they're saying that there should be, whenever you see a model like this and you see the bulge, right? This is representative of the space that would be added on if you were to draw a straight line between two distances. So if you were standing at the top of this bulge right here, then you would have to look downward to see this part of the shore, this city line. And then again, you'd have to look to the right. You'd have to look downward to see the land masses over on this area. So remember, this is a sphere, right? So wherever you're positioned, you can call it the top of it, okay? You say you're at this building, you can say you're at the top of the sphere because everything looks flat to you. Now, as you look out, you will see the earth start to curve away from you. Okay? And that's all they're simply saying, is that there should be a bulge in between the 2 points, aka it should curve down from where you're standing, and it should be almost more like perpendicular or on an angle. So I wanted to clear that up because in this video it talks about, there should be 300 meters of height or 300 feet of height of the bulge. Well, that's imagining that you're standing here and you're able to look through the globe to the other side. Okay? But if you want, you can rotate this sphere so that this building or any one of these buildings is at the top, and then follow the curve down. Okay? So that's just something that we had to clear up first and foremost. Secondly, I wrote all these points down because this is serious. Okay, the curved land. They're saying that the earth is flat, but the land is curved. Okay? Now, I could make some correlations with that, with the many native stories in the North Americas, saying that how a turtle volunteered its back to start building earth on, and once earth was piled on the turtle's back, they began to spin the waters. Here it is. They began to spin the waters around the turtle shell. And as it did that, the earth started to grow. Okay? Now, obviously, this turtle shell, quote unquote, would be a massive expanse of land. But like this documentary says, it may have some the earth. Okay? But the water is flat. Okay? So another thing that I wanted to say about this is, could they possibly be trying to slowly bring us into the flat earth truth by mixing in a little bit of convexity with it? Not giving it to us, fully right off the bat. Because one thing I have to say is, what about the salt flats? What about the deserts? What about the valley, the prairies and the valleys? All these expanses of land that are quote unquote flatter than a pancake. Florida is on the edge. It meets the water, and it is flat, flat, flat for many hundreds of kilometers. So how can the earth be curved and the waters be flat? Maybe there was an eruption. Maybe the earth grows from the bottom up. Like this experiment that I can show you. Let's see. So, sugar and acid. That's what it is. Sugar and acid. What if there was a some sort of chemical reaction underneath the earth that caused the land to bulge up? And we're just gonna wait for this ad to finish. Okay, so sugar and sulfuric acid. You add a few drops of acid into the sugar, as shown here. And then you wait, and it starts to heat up. And then up from the waters, the flat waters, the land appears. And it's bubbly and it's hot, like they tell us. Whether that's fact or fiction, we don't know. But you can see a very hard substance rising out of the earth, out of the water. Okay? And it's mounded. Okay? It's imperfect. Okay, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but this experience, look how hard it is. It's like a rock. Now, maybe we could imagine this on a mass scale, and if this was the case, then the Earth didn't take millions or billions of years to form. In fact, it could have happened literally overnight. And if you look at all the exhaust that's been that it's giving off, all the steam, all the evaporation, well, that makes way for the formation of the clouds in the atmosphere. And then these gases would sink into their perspective and relative weights. Okay, so that may explain why the Earth itself, the land, is convex, but the water is flat. It says in the documentary that they have measured no curvature in the water. But if the Earth was a globe, the water would have to curve at some point. Okay? Great information. This is amazing information that they're bringing out. Let's see, what's next? So the documentary goes on to say, why are NASA's photos curved? Well, A, they're completely fake. Okay? B, if they are real video from high altitude Earth balloons, high altitude weather balloons, see how the water lays flat? No matter what. See, it's flat. Now they curved it. Okay. Now, the images that we see from NASA that do appear to be real are doctored with a fisheye lens or a barrel distortion lens or a wide angle lens. It doesn't need to be a fisheye lens for the land to appear convex. All you need is a wide lens. Okay, and I could show you many pictures of houses that I take when I go in there with my wide angle lens, 11 millimeters. It distorts even the ceilings and the baseboards. Okay, and I have to go in there and I have to correct it. So they say that the gravitational waves bend it here, and I'll play it for you here, so I don't have to put words in their mouth. Now let's listen closely. They just finished describing how gravity is fake. It's false. There is no gravity. They just went through that. Watch the documentary. It comes out in the hour mark. Okay. Now after they're done disproving gravity, they say this.
Was called convex Earth.
We call it convex Earth because the continents have a convex relief, starting at the sea level, rising to the highest point, and returning to the sea level.
According to altimetric analyses, all the continents present a convexity in their relief. According to the investigations, in the convex Earth, the magnetic field has the following layout, with the magnetic North Pole located in approximately the middle of the planet.
Using gravity.
Due to the magnetic field, anywhere on the surface of the planet, a compass will always point to the North Pole, as the South Pole represents its entire border.
That's right. That's what we say. That's what we've been saying.
The magnetic field is also responsible for modeling the shape of our atmosphere, which takes the form of a plane convex lens. In this way, the atmosphere, formed by several gases and water in gaseous state, takes on the characteristic of a gigantic magnifying glass with a high degree of refraction, responsible for day and night. The following experiment simulates the behavior of day and night. We use a flat convex lens, a model.
I say apparently instead of
I'm just trying to find it.
The geostationary ones are apparently fixed in a position over the surface of the planet. Mass.
Able to bend
Here we go.
The atmosphere. Supposed curvature of the planet, but due to two factors. The first, due to the large flat convex lens of our atmosphere. And the second, according to the theory of curvature of light proposed by Albert Einstein.
Now they go into the theory of light, the proposed theory of light. Okay, so proposed by Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was a globalist. He is responsible for cementing in our head how these stars could be so far away from us and still move relative to us, and how the gravity bends the space-time continuum. Okay, It's not now they're crediting it.
Experimentally proven in 1919.
According to Albert Einstein's theory,
They're showing space. They're showing deep space with a big ass sun.
mass of a large object.
And what large object would be it? Like what large mass are they talking about that would distort it? Are they talking about the dome? Are they saying that the sun is outside of the dome? What's going on? They haven't really alluded to that, but let's keep going.
Can create a curvature in space-time around it, able to bend the path of a beam of light in its vicinity. This phenomenon was...
If it's able to bend a beam of light, then how are they able to say earlier that when they were shining a light beam across from one shore to the other and they could see it, how do you know that the Earth is not bending that beam of light with it? Now, we know that they measured it to be flat through means other than light. So that's just a rhetorical question. But what I'm saying is, how are you going to use gravity to debunk this gravity?
Called
I understand what they mean. Gravitational, you could gravitate towards someone. They had good energy and you gravitated towards them. Or, you could rub a balloon on your head and put it under a tap and the water will gravitate around it. I get it. I get it in that sense. But, in my opinion, they should have stayed away from the word gravity on the whole.
A gravitational lens.
A proven physical law has to work in both macro and micro environments. In this way, the gravitational lenses were proved through astronomical observations of objects of great mass. Then we conclude that the curvature of light in the high layers of the atmosphere also occurs as a function of the mass of the planet itself and of its magnetic field. We fabricate in our laboratory.
So they're saying that the mass of the planet itself is bending it in, and it's saying that the gravitational field, which I really wish that they should have said electromagnetic field, bends it inward towards the North Pole and down again and out for redistribution, kind of like the toroidal field.
A physical gravitational lens capable of correcting the curvature of light in the upper layers of the atmosphere. In the experiments, we reached the degree of 0.22
There's a GoPro.
for the total correction. This can also be proved through computational simulation. This law also applies to other bodies, such as the moon.
Now, which brings me into my next point, okay? Now they start to scrutinize celestial bodies, okay, which is great. One thing is, let me see if you guys catch it.
And the planets we know from our solar system. They apparently are spherical when viewed through telescopes.
Okay, now they just said other planets, stars, whatever, viewed through the solar system may not be spherical, and they have this oblate looking kind of thing here, floating through space.
Do not know their real.
Okay, now it's the whole space thing. It's got to go, but let's just check out some P900 imagery of planets, because they're still giving it to us as solid. Okay, now this is a video I'm sure you guys are all familiar with out there of the Venus. This is Venus. Okay, they got a bunch out there. Now this is supposed to be Venus. This does not look globular. This does not look solid. It looks like it's vibrating. It looks like it's holographic. It looks like it's light. It doesn't look like it's a solid mass reflecting light. Look at this. This is Vega. Star Vega. Now, why didn't they include any of this? This is Mars. This is supposed to be a globular, spherical, celestial body, interplanetary body. But why didn't they show any footage of this? That's what, I knew there was going to be some kind of, fuckery with this, part of my language. And maybe maybe it's for the benefit. Maybe you don't want to go way too left wing on someone and completely shatter their world. You got to wake them up slowly. Maybe the next follow-up footage, they said that they wanted to go to the Arctic next to explore the new continent. But, this is Neptune, flashing and glimmering. Why, maybe they're waiting in their next series of documentaries to break this down. Maybe they're going to get into the stars next and say, hey, look, we've compiled this much evidence showing that it's not globular and it's not solid. They're just radiating light in their certain light-coded arrangements in order to stabilize us and to arrange us. We talk about the zodiacs controlling us, having positionality over our emotions, our character types. I imagine these as the strings of the puppeteer. This is what makes us dance and sing the way we do. This is what holds our frequency together. Okay? But anyways, I digress. Yeah, they do not go into any of this footage with the Nikon P900. All right, well, that is all the things that I have disagreements with and qualms with. And I guess another thing would also be they have a far north, an extreme north, and this is what they're showing. The new land that they've shown was supposed to be called Greater North. Okay, now where is North? They say that North is in the middle of the plane here, the map. Okay, see the North Pole. So if they said that the southern rings here illuminated as green, if that's all south, then how could this new continent be called North? Shouldn't that just be called, like, the new West, the new East, if you're going around and around? How can this be a new North? There's no, the compasses don't attract to this point. It attracts to this point. So they need another name for that. It can't be Greater North. I'm not rocking with that. They say it's sealed off by much ice. Now, what I'm thinking here is that this here, what we see here, where my mouse is, where the great ice mass is, that's what I would say, or would want to think, or am inclined to believe, that is where the South Pole is. Okay, and that this new Earth is just, this new land here is just one of many new continents that they have yet to discover. Because when we look at this ancient map that was found in Tibet, or China, from Tibet, where that new land would be, let's do some on-site research right now with you guys here. Okay, so here's Africa, right here at the bottom, on the left of the N. Here is South America on the far left, and then we have, what we know as Antarctica, the Antarctic islands. So let's see here. If this is Africa, this is India, this is Asia. So directly below Asia, directly below India and Southeast Asia is where we're looking. Okay, now let's look at the map. Holy smokes. Okay, so let's see. There's a lot. Which one are we going to choose from? Okay, so here was Africa. Africa's here. So there should be a continent here. Let's see if we diverge. So this landmass is approximately the size of, I would say, North America, maybe South America. So let's look here. Whoa. We got a landmass right here, people. And you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. It kind of resembles the shape of it. Let's play this.
On the surface of the planet, a compass will always point to the North Pole.
This is exciting.
The South Pole represents its entire border.
This is good stuff,
The
y'all.
magnetic field is also responsible for modeling the shape of
This is exciting.
fraction.
All right.
Responsible for day.
Let's see how they model. Let's see how they model this new continent. Let's see what shape they give it.
Spherical nor geoid, but in this concept, the Earth is like a huge
Let's see a good. Let's see a good. A good image of what they say the shape. I'm looking for a bird's eye view, people. I'm looking for the bird's eye view. Okay. Okay. Come on, give me a bird's eye view of the new continent. Because we'll be able to see if the Chinese or the Tibetans centuries ago. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Let's compare this with this. Okay. It kind of, you know, it's narrow as it approaches the land. It's narrow, and then it kind of widens out. It even shows a freaking lake here. It widens out, and then it kind of curves back in. So it's kind of like a, you know, like a light bulb or something. You know, something. It's ovular, but it's tighter the more inland we get. So let's see what they see, because we do see it getting tighter and then wider. But it looks a little. If I was to say, I would say that it's oriented a little bit different, but the general shape. I mean, for a hand-drawn map, we're looking at this continent right here. For a hand-drawn map centuries ago, you know, I'll take it. Maybe it's this one here. Could it be that one? It looks like it's right below India, so right across from India, adjacent to India. I would say it's more this one, wouldn't you? It's not, you know, it's a little bit bigger than India. This India here. Yeah, I would say, okay, so this is it right here. This is it right here. Okay? Whoa! And that would make the lake right here. Guys, this is incredible right now, because that would mean that this ice wall that we're talking about here, let me just back up and go to this one. This ice wall that we see surrounding the Earth, that would be illustrated by this here. Okay? So they're saying if they're saying that this has another ring of ice around it, well, then maybe there's a bunch of little rings all around it, kind of like a mandala. Okay? You see the mandala here? If you imagine this was Earth in the middle with all the land here, and then you saw the ice ring here, this would be the first ice ring, and then you would see land here. You see these leaves representing land. You would see an ice wall around here like they have here. And then if we follow the mandala, then there should be another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we follow the mandala, there should be 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 little partitions of ice, if that's correct. This is exciting, y'all. This is very exciting, because we're slowly putting together all the little pieces. Okay, so maybe this isn't accurate. Maybe these continents, these islands out here. Where is it? Maybe these islands and continents out here are all surrounded by ice in a Mandela type fashion. Wow. You know. Okay, so let's get to the positives, y'all. Okay, because that was everything that I was, had scrutinized. Let's get back to the positives. First, let me say what's up to the chat. Kumi Kai, what's going on? Nicholas Saliman, what's going on? Miss Magical 164. Could still be the infinite plane with puddles. That's what maybe I'm leaning towards. Who knows? This is this is groundbreaking right now. This documentary is going to completely shatter physics, astrophysics, chemistry, geography. Okay, even archaeology. When we look at the origins of man, now we're gonna have to come up with something else. Carolyn Gutmanday, I like your skepticism. Thank you very much. We got to be skeptic. We're truth seekers. I still don't get how they studied this for 7 years and no one heard about it. Well, that often happens. Let me answer that question directly. When a new drug hits the market, Xantaphene. Take Xantaphene today. Well, that's a 15-year in the making drug. A 7-year in the making drug. It stays underground. You know what I mean? It helps to control investors' excitement. B, it helps to control skepticism across the board. It helps to control patent infringement. It helps to control PR, quality control, all of that. So a lot of times, the more underground study that you get, and then when you present it with a large body of evidence, the more credible it is. So when you're presenting a case, a murder case, you want to underground quietly get all your evidence together and then present it in front of the judge. Stephen Broker says the new land that is far north is the Garden of Eden, most northern mountain. That's interesting because they say in the Bible the garden is planted eastward of Eden. Okay, eastward in Eden. So if the whole earth is Eden, and we're seeing something that's far east, then could that be it? Who knows? Okay, let me take it back to the documentary. All right, now some of the great things I loved about this is that they used cutting edge technology. You know what I mean? Laser equipment, theodolites. They measured in different continents. Okay, they went to France, they went to South America. They were all over the place. They were choosing the best days to go out for the weather conditions. Where it wasn't too hot to have atmospheric haze on the horizon. And all the distortion. They went with days, they went on cold days. They went days where the water was calm. Remember, they had 7 years to do this. So, they had optimal times. What I wish that they included a little bit more. Look at that telescope. Wow. I wish they included a little bit more different types of experiments. If you look in Zetetic Astronomy by Samuel L. Robotham, you see many different types of instrumentation used and experiments done for parallax between stars and all that. But you know what? It's all good. It's what we have today, and it's much more advanced than Eratosthenes' sticks in the ground. I mean, stars. These damn Greek names. Can you believe that? Eratosthenes, they figured it out by using sticks in the ground a mere 800 kilometers away. Come on. How are you going to, we're dealing with top-notch, grade A tech equipment right here. Now, this is a nail in the coffin for all the globers that say, you know, flat earthers have no real research. There's no real scientific data to back up what they're saying. Look at it. We got laptops out. We got the lasers. We got rays that you can't see with the naked eye, so it won't be bent by gravity, quote unquote. You know, we're using a close range, very tight range lasers, so that, you know, the degree of exception, the exceptional error degree, that is minimized to its lowest. So there's just very low chances of getting it wrong. They over 7 years they've done this with many different types of equipment, as they show.
The seemingly absurd theory.
Now, they all started off as globers, but using this high-tech equipment, they have shattered their preconceived notions and basically the indoctrination that we've all been through, that we all go through, that the Earth is a sphere. Again and again and again, over 300 kilometers away in some instances, where the bulge or the curvature should be cutting off the next landmass by at least 200 feet, but it is completely in sight. They're seeing the equipment itself, you know, laser to laser matching up. You know, they're mapping it out, GPS.
Being parallel to the water toward another team.
Woo! Look at that. High power. Now, this is what I wish that they could have done a little bit better, okay? And, you know, I'm being completely truthful here. What I would have done as an artist is I would have drawn this camera, this laser beam. I would have drawn that on the angle as well, okay? I would have drawn that on the incline. And I would have made that laser go off into space, off into the sky. Or I would have put that, this land here, I would have put that at the top of the diagram. And then I would have shown the laser going straight. Since if you're at the top of the sphere and everything around you looks flat because it's so big, then, you know, we should see it just go straight off, and then we should see the amount of curvature that's underneath. It's a little bit confusing and off-putting because you have someone saying, hey, look, you know, they're having the laser shoot directly into a bulge of water, and we never see that. Yes, that's true. I agree with that. This, you know, this is not a good demonstration of what they actually did. Because if they really showed a good demonstration of what they did, you see this horizon line here? They should have made that curve. They should have calculated this curve, and they should have juxtaposed that here and go underneath it. Okay? That's the only thing I would have done different.
On the other side, since the supposed curvature of the Earth would be an obstacle in its trajectory. However, if the Earth is not spherical and the waters don't follow its curvature, it would be possible to visualize the laser light on the other side, for there would be no obstacles in its path.
And, you know, that's something we've been saying that time and time again. And what I really want to drive home is that when we're talking about flat Earth, we're not saying that it's a flat pancake and there's not mountains. No. But what are we going to go to rely on a flat measurement, a flat surface? The water. Why water? Because water always seeks its own level. And so, in my opinion, the debates are over. The debates are over. Flat Earth has won, y'all. Flat Earth has won. Let me get a 1 in the comments. Because right now, we have just won. Do you realize that for the past 2 years, People have been debating, I mean, longer than that. I mean, the debate has never ceased. But imagine on spending your time, investing your emotional energy into flat Earth, not really knowing, or being like me and fully knowing, and not really being able to do anything about it, because you got all these globers pulling up NASA imagery and saying, what about gravity? Well, you know what? Now we have something that they can't refute. You can't deny 7 years of experimentation with the latest equipment that we have. Why don't you go out and do it then? You know what I mean? Why don't you go out and do these experiments that you find would be better to demonstrate the shape of the place that we live on? You know why? Because you can't. And the reason why I am, quite happy about this is that now we don't have to argue anymore. Okay? We don't have to be at each other's throats. We can simply just take in the information, realize that it is up to date, that it is the most advanced technology that we have to measure such things, and that anything else in the past was not adequate. If you're a globe earther telling me that we already concluded the shape of the Earth because this was done this many hundreds of years ago, well, that doesn't hold water anymore, because those experiments were done at a time where we didn't have adequate technology. You're telling me Eratosthenes can stick 2 poles in the ground and say, okay, this is how big it is? No. You're telling me that we have cameras on board, satellites, whose images are just getting better and better and better? You do realize that the images that were sent up to space were like black and white photos, limited zoom, no correcting, no auto correcting. And now we're receiving photos from these same damn satellites, and they're markedly improved. It's like we're sending updates to the satellites, and then there's somebody on the other end of the satellite to receive the update. And then, now because you've got a software update, now the hardware of the physical camera is getting better? Come on. This is just a very interesting picture. I do real estate photography, and this was something that I found in the basement of somebody's house. They were into a lot of maritime and navigational, aquatic type stuff. You have, Dubai's time, and, Iceland's time. And this was the clock that they go by when they're sailing around the world. When they're sailing around the world, they know where is experiencing daylight and sunlight. Okay? 24-hour clock is simple. You see the 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way outside in the black and the white. You see how half of it is black and half of it is daylight. Okay? Because the sun is going around once every 24 hours. So if you have a 24-hour clock in your house, wherever is noon for you, that's where the sun is overhead at that time. So yeah, man. I mean, this is just another nail in the coffin. Circumnavigation on a flat surface. It's another nail in the coffin because a lot of times people won't believe something, unfortunately, until it's on the television. I'm just scrolling through these pictures as I talk because I'm showing you guys that we had the information first. We don't need a documentary to come along and to change our minds. But what I was saying is that there are a lot of people out there that won't believe anything unless it's seen on TV standard, fixed up and put together and edited and narrated over. Okay? These are the ancient cosmologies. I don't know why we had to look past this. I mean, we see pyramids and step pyramids and monuments, star forts. If you haven't looked up star forts, look up star forts right now. It's very important to have star forts built in a time where we call the Dark Ages. Okay, now I don't know why we needed to go past these ancient cosmologies. If we can go to the Vedic scriptures and find when the solar and lunar eclipses will be to this day, and find natal charts and birth charts and have accurate readings on people and their characteristics to this day, and if the monuments are still lining up with the sun, moon, and stars until this day, then why did we ever have to question the ancients' cosmologies? It's perfect, it's balanced, it's still, it's harmonized, it's coveted, it's truth, it's balanced, it's amazing. This is the swastika, quote unquote. Okay, this is where they get that from. Okay, it's just rotating around above us, and now we look at this and we have no choice but to laugh. I mean, it's just so stupid. After watching this flat Earth documentary and seeing like a 3D modeled version based on ground positioning systems giving altitudes of different heights all over, it's just a joke to look at this. I mean, look at this, 2012. I showed this to one of my friends. It said, well, they might be closer to the Earth in 2012, and in 2002 they could have been further away from the Earth. I said, yeah, but the size of the ball is still the same, you ignoramus. Come on. That means that the proportion of which the space that the continent consumes or the land masses consume should all be the same. Okay? If you have a stop sign and you're looking at the stop sign and the letters STOP take up 50% of the stop sign, then you walk 2 miles away from that stop sign and you look at it, the STOP will still be taking up 50% of the stop sign. The stop sign itself will be getting bigger and smaller, but the words stop will not change. Come on. Come on. Look at that size difference. That was just laziness. Okay, now they didn't really go into the height of the sun, which is a difficult topic to tackle. If you want more information on the schematics of the sun, then I suggest a video called, I'm going to stop sharing, I'm going to share a new one, a video called Magnetic Sun, I believe it's called. Let me pull it up. Magnetic Sun. And that will be a flat Earth video. They're gonna have to shut YouTube down because I just streamed that. Magnetic Earth, is it? Let's see. I'm gonna bring it into YouTube. You guys are exploring with me as I go. Magnetic Sun, Rob Skiba. Okay. Now he did a comprehensive video. Where is it? Rob Skiba, magnetic. I think we found it. Here we go.
Southern magnetic anomaly is also a moving anomaly.
Okay, this is very interesting, guys. Get the likes up. Like and share this video. Peace to everybody in the chat. Thanks for staying with me. Thanks for watching this. This is a revelation today. Very big news. So let's get into this. Okay, now Rob Skiba. Let's listen to what he says here, okay? He has used high-tech equipment to track the motion of the sun. This video, in conjunction with the video the flat Earth video we just watched is going to be epic. It is going to completely shut down any globe ideas from here on. Here we go. Let's watch.
Azimuth and declination of the sun and trace the sun object for that by taking just one longitude, that being the 0 UTC meridian on Earth.
These are all the schematics.
And inputted the data from observations for azimuth and declination of
He
the sun.
inputs the data.
Traced the sun object for that location for a year for each 10th latitude north and south of the equator, and just let the data run its course for a year.
Let the data run its course for a year. He stood in the same spot and is tracking the sun's movement, not the Earth's movement around the sun. He's standing still, tracking the sun's motion. Oh, it looks like a spider web.
But the model became so heavy with data and tiny hair-thin tracer lines that even with a super machine, we couldn't render the result.
Even with the super machine, they couldn't render the amount of data that came through.
After some trial and error, we finally managed to get a clear view on the end result.
This is the end result. This is...
And even with our sun being an equal distance to the observer, the shape and layout ended up in a torus field around the Earth.
It ended up in a torus field around the Earth. Now, we just saw in the documentary that there is a torus field emanating from the North Pole. Maybe the sun is riding those invisible waves, okay? Climbing up and down. You know, the rising and the falling that is eminent in many folklore stories about the sun or about any object going up and down. Now look at that. Look at the crisscrossing patterns.
We still have to figure out how to do proper 3D vectoring to get all the observed speeds and changes in the motion of the sun, creating a more true shape.
So they have to do a more accurate 3D vectoring to trace the movement and the speeds of the sun. So it's saying how far does the sun go? How does it travel? Will it end up making an oblate type of render at the end?
But it became very clear to us that based on Ken Wheeler's research into magnetic holography, that the sun we see is projected into the electromagnetic field in the sky.
He's saying that the sun is being projected into the electromagnetic field in the sky. So the sun that we see may not be the sun, but a refraction, or reflection, or a glare, or a concentrated point, much like you would do with a magnifying glass, creating a brighter, hotter mass in the middle, a point of light.
Objective sun follows the magnetic field lines that are unique for each location on Earth.
So it's saying that it might be unique to the observer.
So the real sun is a source coming from outside of the so-called firmament, which probably uses light polarization that is projected into the magnetic field and rendered through the atmosphere. It is no coincidence that all sun arcs combined create this torus-like field, and this is version 1.0.
This is just the first.
As soon as we find out how to use equal distance 3D vectoring and a formula on the angles and the data sheets from observations, we can then get a true shape in second by second motion in the field lines.
I'm excited for that. Okay, so we're just gonna watch this as I close out. Very interesting indeed. The flat Earth has won. We are triumphant. You know, I have a debate in April, but what do you guys think, man? Maybe I should just skip it because, I mean, obviously, in my opinion, I mean, there is no more debate. I mean, we just had, I mean, put it this way. There is nobody out there that I am going to debate, you know, sitting behind their computers, just like myself, that is going to have more input, more say on the experiments that were just conducted by these researchers, by these engineers, by these geologists, by these physicists. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just two students debating a teacher's lesson, and that's not going to get us anywhere. So, you know what? Screw it. Screw the debate, because a debate would only fuel more separation, more negativity. Okay, let's get them lights up. Okay, let's get the lights up. Let's get the shares out there, because yo, we gotta share this far and wide. So yeah, so what we gotta realize is that when we say let's have a flat Earth or a discussion about the shape of the Earth, saying that we can have a discussion entails that you can leave with a changed opinion. But a debate means that no matter what happens, no matter what information he brings forth, I am going to leave with my original opinion intact. And that is wrong. Because, yeah, DJ Black says, I got to do it. You know what? Maybe I will, because maybe there's going to be a lot of people that won't even click on it. And I'll just show up to the debate like, blah, boom, you know, new information. You know, because this is brand new information. All the debates that we've done, even a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a month ago, whenever, wherever, it has been done without this added ammunition. And these people are obviously experts in their field. 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, doing this for a long time, making a living, putting their name at stake, their credibility at stake. You know, how are they going to ever sell a book again if what they're saying is complete gobbledygook? Okay, so what I want to do is I want to enter the debate, because I keep on trying to tell Black Jesus, look, I don't want to have a debate. I want it to be a discussion, but I'll take him up on the debate terms. And I keep on saying, you know, I wish we could just have an organic discussion. I wish that we could. Hey, Stephen Broker says that the sun is rolling. I believe that too. I believe that the moon anyway is rolling across the sky. I just want to have an organic discussion that shows natural growth and natural, genuine inquiry concerning the shape of the Earth. Okay? Because you're going to get there and say, oh, well, you know, gravity does this, and gravity, and you stupid flat earthers do this. And as soon as I sense that, it's like, you know what? I don't got time for this. It's already been proven. There's a documentary. There's many documentaries about it, but this is just the latest one, using the highest tech that we have, the highest quality technology that we have available today. Okay? So, in my opinion, nail in the coffin, debate over, but I will show up to any future platforms, but I will always host it on my platform as well. And I will spread this truth around, because this is something that has to be seen. And kudos to Brazil as a nation for, you know, putting this out. Now, are they controlling the opposition? You know, yeah, I see a lot of space imagery. You know, I see a lot of the grid in the space-time, the fabric, the continuum. Let's not worry about that. I'm not too worried about that. Why? Because we already have enough information going against, you know, gravity and space and deep space, and we got the P900 imagery and all that. But what this is going to do is this is going to open up the layman man, the sheeple, the people that are the people that wanted to look away. This is going to force them to look at it, because it's going to say, oh, this is a professional documentary with experiments that consisted of the highest tech that we have available and over 7 years of amalgamated knowledge that we are going to put forth. So, that being said, after they see that, where are they going to come? They are going to come straight to YouTube, because that's where they heard about all this. You know, they make their insults, they leave their comments, and they bash people. But now they're going to come back because it's most familiar. Hey, oh yeah, hey, YouTube. They were debating that on YouTube. Bro Sanchez debates that. D. Marvel puts out information on that. Mark Sargent, Eric Dubay, you know, ODD Reality. They're all talking about it. I thought they were losers, idiots, insane. Now we got these, you know, collar-wearing, suit-wearing people all coming together to say that in the past 7 years, they've discovered that the Earth is flat, and that they have another continent, and that the sun is a lot closer. So, you know, they're going to come to our page for more deeper information, and that is when we gotta handle it right. We gotta say, yeah, guess what? They lied to you, but it's okay. We've all been lied to, and this is how we handle it. This is where we go from here. And with all that being said, I'm going to drop that out from here. I just wanted to quickly share the flat Earth truth, this new documentary that came out by scientists, engineers, physicists, you name it. 7 years in the making, okay? And this is just part one. There's going to be much more to come, okay? Because we are going to be curious, and our curiosity is going to grow with it. Okay, so let me turn on my camera for y'all. All right, y'all. So victory. It's just victory. That's all it is for the flat Earth, for the truth-seeking movement. We have taken another leap and bound. This is another milestone for the movement, for the flat Earth movement, for the truth movement in general. All right, go easy on those Globers out there. Don't say I told you so, but remind them that you did tell them so. And that, you know, if they're confused, you know where to go. All right? So peace, power, and protection. Look forward to my videos. We're going to have a lot more videos. Bro Sanchez is dropping a lot of good videos right now on the history, her story. This is a great place to take it after we have just shattered the shape of our Earth. Now let's talk. Now let's find out about the true history and where we're going to go from here. All right, y'all. Let's come up with solutions together. No more fighting, only discussion and building. All right? Much love. This is Masterpiece signing out. Eat to live. Peace.